And we're live. All right. Hey everybody, good evening. Thanks for joining. Uh, really happy that you're all here tonight to listen to my little introduction. Thanks so much for giving me your time and attention here. Tonight, the topic of the show is where does negative energy come from? And a lot of times, what we label as negative or bad are actually very constructive emotions. Anger, for example, is there because a boundary was violated in some way, shape, or form, right? So holding on to that for a long period of time without doing something about it can become unhealthy very quickly. But in the same way, anything can be taken out of balance. We can have too many cheeseburgers. They're delicious, but we can overdo it. It's an easy thing to do. So this negative energy that we were talking about here, my big point for tonight is actually a quote or a concept from Dr. Marcel Vogel, who talks about this idea of coherence in his crystalline research work. Now, what he discovered was that any illness or malady in the body was a result of an incoherent signal, an incoherent frequency. Like if they looked at the frequency, it didn't resonate. So what they found was that by using this crystal and the appropriate thought form vibrations, like projecting the imagery of the healed part or just the idea frequency of love or a specific medicine, even, is interestingly enough can be projected through this laser frequency of consciousness. So any incoherent field, this illness, whatever it is, can be overwritten by a stronger coherent field. So that's my big point for the evening, and I'll turn it over to my excellent, very gifted father, Christopher LaPrath. And again, thank you all so much for your time.
Hey, thank you so much, Kenan. Kenan is my producer, Kenan LaPrath, and he runs the show behind the scenes. So I really appreciate that, and especially that information about coherent energy. So we were going to talk about where does negative energy come from. It's a little bit out asking, well, where does air come from? uh, like Lone Rose, it's going to be different for everybody, but there are frequencies, and there are frequencies that we can get used to. There are frequencies that we can walk through that can be negative. Same thing, there are positive frequencies, and we can feel them. Even though we may not be conscious of them with our conscious mind, we can still feel them. And that's what we were talking about today, is it can be, it's why I don't go to hospitals. And I've mentioned this before many times in the show. If you're in the hospital, I'll send you flowers, but I won't go there. I won't go to nursing homes. I won't go to funeral homes. And again, I'll send you flowers at your funeral. But I do my best to avoid those places because of these frequencies that can be there, and whatever form that they come in, whether it's residual frequencies that have been left behind by fear, anger, intimidation, whatever that is, or whether they're literal entities that feed off of those frequencies and can cause that. So what I really want to focus on, though, is the remedy. So to start the show, we lift all of your frequencies by lighting the incense. You can order incense on Amazon. You can get it at your local store. But it's always good to have incense around. Sage is also great. It helps to lift the vibration. It helps to lift the frequency. So sending out great vibes to all of you through, first of all, this incense that I'm lighting for you. The second thing is I've had an amazing weekend. One of my favorite things on the earth is the earth itself. And I love going to rock shows. I was talking to Dan earlier, Old Dog, and is he on tonight?
I didn't
See him, okay. But I said I went to a rock show, and he's like, "You mean Led Zeppelin?" Or something to that effect. And the fact is that no, it was a literal rock show. And the reason that I love rock shows, and I've talked to you all about this before, is one of the greatest things that we can do, one of the greatest rocks that we can all have, and I believe that we can never really have enough of, is called selenite. Selenite, it's Selenite, and Kenan will write that for you in the chat. It's called selenite. It is meant, what it does is it raises your vibration, and it brings your home into harmony. So you've all seen that I wear rings, I wear bracelets, I wear a lot of these stones. After the show, I put them in a selenite bowl or a selenite platter, and it actually cleanses them. But it does more than that for just the jewelry or for the things around your house that you would like cleaning. It actually raises the vibration of your home. So you cannot, and I took some notes, so I apologize if I'm looking down a bit. I have to refer to my notes. It works with the crown chakra and the third eye. And it encourages communication with the angel realm. Who does not need that? Who does not need a 5G communication with the angelic realm? That's what selenite does. And again, you cannot have enough selenite in your house. It also has been found to help with skeletal issues. And they have discovered that it has a reverse effect on the free radicals, the free radical damage to cells, is the claim. I'm not making that claim. I don't make medical claims. But it is something that is very, very powerful, okay? It is one of the highest spiritual stones there are. And it helps to conduct energy, and it opens us up to higher frequencies. So it doesn't matter where negative energies come from. If I'm feeling funky, I will grab a selenite. I'll just sit with it for a minute. And it also helps you to connect to source. It clears energy blocks. So if you're wearing jewelry all day, bring it home, put it in selenite, or just lay it in selenite, and any energy blocks that those stones may have picked up, or any jewelry, put it in selenite, even if you don't have stones that you wear. It brings peace and purity to one's head and heart. Okay? So I had this amazing experience with this rock show. And so I want to share this with you. I want to show you something. This is called satin selenite. And if you see it, if I hold it up to the light just right, when you hold it up to the light, it looks like a tree, or it looks like hundreds of tiny fractals. Okay? Now, this can be used as a coaster. Look around your house, your guests come, you don't have to explain the benefit of selenite. Okay? But if you put their drink on this, it's going to help your guests. But you can also use this for your jewelry. You can put this on anything. You can put this by your bed. You can put it under your bed. You can even slide it between your mattress. Okay? So this is extremely versatile. I'll show it here can I show it on the group camera?
There we go.
There we go. So I will ship you these if you want to. I'll ship you a set of 4 of them for $25. But I just really believe, because this is special, this is like a satin selenite. I've actually never seen it before, but they had it at this rock show, and so I want to be able to provide it for you if you're interested. It's just really nice to carry, and they're, if you're carrying a purse, they're not very heavy. You can actually carry it in your purse with you, or even your back pocket. But you can see about the size of my hand and my fingers, how big it is. That's the selenite. I call it a coaster. Okay. Also, by the way, I forgot, I wanted to mention Tony Fleece and the Fleece Agency sponsors our show. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, everyone at the Fleece Agency, an amazing branding and marketing company. And I also wanted to thank Brick Road Coffee, amazing sponsors for the show. So thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to go back to selenite. This is a selenite bowl. Okay, it's bigger. If you compare it in size, it's bigger. It will contain more. Actually, you can put this inside the selenite bowl. But that was just to show you the size of it. But this is a beautiful, clear selenite bowl that I got. If you want them, they're $33 for the selenite bowl, and we'll ship them to you. And we have to charge shipping. I don't know what that is yet. I just got these today. But I was so excited because I've been talking about selenite, and I can pass the prices I got them on, pass them on to you. So think about that. The other thing I would highly recommend, if the budget's tight, we'll send you you can get a selenite necklace, okay? And this is in a spiral shape. Can I put it on the...
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. So this is a selenite necklace, and this is about as big as my finger. So it's easily worn, and this is only $11. And we'll, of course, have the chain or the... we'll have the chain or the thread. We're going to try to use either leather or hemp for that, to keep the price low to $11. And then when you get it, you could put a silver chain on it, or if you want to do that. But these are extremely, I just can't even tell you how important it is to have these, especially if you're around a lot of people. Okay. So that's my preaching on selenite tonight. And to tell you a little bit about it, it's just important. It's just something that we can alleviate those negative frequencies with, or any negativity. And it's something physical, because we're physical beings. And that is one of the beautiful things about this earth, is that it has created remedies, natural remedies for us, that I truly believe. Okay, we've got a group card. So this is called the Sky Bridge. And many times we are asked to take a leap of faith. This is my Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade card. I'm going to refer to this movie. It's, 30, 40 years old. But there's a scene in the movie where Indiana Jones is going for the Holy Grail. And I think that's really a mission in all of our lives, is we're seeking this Holy Grail, or our purpose in life. And many times the universe has gaps there. There are gaps that appear, and we have to jump them. And so with Indiana Jones, what he did is, he was at this chasm. He was at the edge of this vast, deep, deep chasm. Okay? And I'll go ahead and silence my phone. I apologize. Thank you all. I got something I saw from Kat, and I got something from Laurel. Thank you both very much. Anyway, the Sky Bridge is where Indiana Jones was sitting or standing at the edge of this chasm, and he had to step out in faith over nothingness. And when he did, the bridge appeared. This is the card about taking action and doing it now. Okay? Say yes. Move forward. Connect with Source. Know that you're being guided. Know that there's light. And sometimes it is very scary. You can text me. You can call me. I understand. I've been there many times. I went to China on a one-way ticket, not knowing if I was ever going to come home again, to a place I had never been before. I had never been in out of the country at that time, and let alone the Republic of China. That was a scary thing. But it helped me grow exponentially. I will tell you right now, if you're at the bridge, if you're at the chasm of a major decision, move out in faith. Move out in faith. You're being taken care of. This is the emphasis of the Sky Bridge, is to trust the universe. I took some notes. Hold on. This is about a quantum leap. So Tony's a physicist. He'll understand this, but particles in an atom don't just move from one place to another. They just don't go from here over to there. They're here, they disappear, and they reappear over here. They still don't know why. They can't figure it out. There's no understanding of that. But it's called this quantum leap. And so it's where you just are in one place and you leap the chasm and you're in another place. It's how the universe works. Okay? Life believes you are ready, even if you do not agree. Life believes you are ready, even if you do not agree. So respond with a determined yes. I'm moving forward. And let the universe take care of the details. And it will become obvious to you when you look back on it. It may not be obvious when you're on that chasm. So that's the group card for tonight. That's the message for all of you tonight, is trust the process. Trust the universe. It's got you. It's got you. Okay? All right. Who's on first?
Awesome. It looks like Lindsay's first tonight.
Hey, Lindsay. Welcome. Can you text me your address, Lindsay? Okay. All right, I got the card for Lindsay. So, Lindsay, when you make bread and you're done. You're done making bread. It doesn't turn out, you don't give it more than 5 minutes thought of, oh, I coulda, shoulda, woulda, oh, I forgot to put the milk in, oh, I didn't put enough yeast in. Leave it. You're done. You did the best you could have done. So, Lindsay, your mantra is, I do my best, and my best is good enough. I do my best, and my best is good enough. You're done. You can't go back anyway. You can't unmake the bread. You can't take the flour out and take the eggs out and take the yeast out and start over again. No. Making that bread was a learning experience for you. Okay? So, it's safe for you to let go. And I would buy selenite pajamas. I would buy selenite underwear. I would buy selenite shoes. Anyway, when I was at the show today, I actually thought of you, and I got you a little something. So text me your address, please. Right.
Selenite shoes, definitely not. No split.
Selenite shoes, definitely not. Okay. Oh. Anyway, so this is for you, Lindsay. Is you're done. You have new bread to make. You have new things to do, new places to go, new people to see, and surround yourself with these positive people. Okay? Because you're becoming less and less tolerant of negative energy. And if you're standing, Lindsay, on a chair, it's much easier for someone to pull you off that chair than for you to try to pull them up on the chair. Okay? That's the gist of this card is if you're hanging around negative people trying to always lift them up, that is an exercise in futility. Okay? Hang around people that are on higher chairs and are going to pull you up even further and further and further. Okay? And be free of pulling other people up onto your chair. Good.
Awesome.
Who's next?
Don Cox.
Hey, Dawn. Thank you for your donation. I really appreciate it. And thank you. Thank you all who donated for the show. I really appreciate it. I'll send you texts later. I know I got something I saw real quickly from Gio and Abby in Maryland. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Well, Don, you're a little spitfire, aren't you? Be free of apologizing for creating fires that needed to be created. Most people think of fire as destructive, but it's actually cleansing. And so there's no need to apologize, because even in a forest fire, those forest fires need to occur to take out all the dead. And it's been shown that even after a forest fire, the forest is even healthier. It takes a few years, but there are things that happen. Anger is not bad. Okay, anger is a tool. But nobody has the power to make us angry. Only we have the power to make ourselves angry. So let go of anyone or any belief system that people are making you angry. That's an example of, like I was talking about with Lindsay just earlier, of people pulling you down off your chair by their anger, or saying, you really made me angry. You really made me feel broken. I'm like, no, I'm not responsible for that. Whatever frequency they crossed, or whatever frequency they were raised in, that charges that anger or that negativity, it's not yours, Dawn. At the same time, there's nothing better on a cold night than a fireside chat. Hot chocolate, fire, campfire. There's something that draws people to you. So there's a warmth here that you have that is truly unique. use that warmth. But let people know in no uncertain terms, you set up those boundaries and they are not allowed to cross those boundaries. Because you can be a force to be reckoned with, just like fire. Okay? So I hope that helps. And I hope that was specific enough for what you're going through right now is speak your truth. This is what this is about. Speak your truth.
Awesome. Next is going to be Abby Maryland.
Abby in Maryland. So, selenite. I'm gonna go back to selenite, Abby in Maryland. I'm actually gonna this card. Both of these cards are going to be interchangeable for you tonight. For some reason, I'm going to be talking to both of you with each card. So, selenite is named after the Greek goddess of the moon. So, as you raise your vibration, stuff falls off the back end. A lot of people think enlightenment is just this easy peasy, wonderful feeling road and things just appear before you. No. Enlightenment is where stuff drops off the back that no longer serves you. And some of these belief systems that you are so strong about are dropping off the back or need to drop off the back in order for you to grow. And they can be really, really challenging. I was involved in a religion. I became a missionary for that religion. And it was ingrained in me. We went to meetings 5 nights a week. I was entrained. And if you ever left the church, they would abandon you. They would never talk to you again. And I'd been at this church for 20 years. All of my friends, people I'd known, if I left the church, they would never talk to me again. And people fear abandonment more than they do death. So this is important because this is about I left the church, and true to form, none of those people have ever talked to me again. So this is about leaving, at times, people behind that no longer serve you. And they'll say to you, wow, you have really changed. Thank you. And they don't mean that as a compliment. Okay? But say thank you anyway, because that's a great thing. That somebody that is at a lower frequency, that is addicted maybe to grief, pain, strife, they get used to being in that frequency field. As you rise above them, they can try to make you wrong or bad. Okay, here we go. And, sorry, I've got to move the incense a little bit. It's coming right across my face. I guess smoke does follow beauty, right? Okay, all right. So that was for Abby and Marilyn, and actually for the whole group. And then for Abby and Marilyn again. So the crow is the messenger from the great beyond, from the eternal darkness, or if you want to call it the eternal light, or the crow flies between the barrier between dimensions. Let's put it that way, okay? And they deliver messages. So who are you? Who are the two of you? Who are the two of you to have messages from beyond? Who are you? And I'm talking to everybody on the show. Who are you? Who are you to have messages from beyond? Well, who aren't you to have messages from beyond? We all get these messages. Honor them. Sometimes you don't know why you're saying things to people or where that's coming from. That's the crow card. Okay? So be free of the fear of eating crow or eating your words or having to take them back. Trust the crow. Trust the process. Trust the messages. So for both of you, this is really interesting. Crows are just smaller version of ravens, and they mean very, very similar things. And if Tony, you're on tonight, I actually got Tony a little something something at the at this rock show too. I already sent him a picture of it, so you know what it is. But it was a crow. Can you grab that crow? It's up there on the shelf. Thank you. So this is really odd that I bought this today. It looks exactly like this card I just pulled. Okay. So I would encourage all of you to look up animal totem crow or animal totem raven. So it's a crow, it's a raven. I bought this as a raven. So that's your, and it's a black onyx. But Abby, Marilyn, look up the animal totem crow. There's a message there, animal totem raven. Look that up, because these are messages from beyond, and your abilities are growing. Please be free of analyzing them. Like many times, a lot of you have called me after the show or texted me and go, what is it you said? And I went, I have no idea. I just don't remember. And that's like messages from spirit. Okay, that's what the crows and the ravens in England. And I know Tony is very adept at talking about this. They're protected. They're almost worshipped around the in England, the Parliament buildings, the
House of Commons.
yeah, they're protected there, and you can look that up as well. But these are messages being downloaded, so trust your messages. Okay, the Tower of London, Tower of London ravens. I knew you knew. I knew you know that, Tony, because Tony's definitely one of Tony's spirit animals is raven. So I'll probably call you later on this one. Black absorbs light, but ravens reflect the prism of all colors back to you. But you have to notice, it's magic. Yeah, it's totally magic, Tony. I love that. Okay,
Next is June Cat.
you have a raven on your shoulder, Lindsay.
Like right now. She's a pet
Wow.
raven. Maybe she just.
Okay. Who's next?
Next is Geo and Cat.
Okay, Geo and Cat.
Oh, it's a tattoo. That makes sense.
What? A tattoo?
Yeah, you were thinking like an actual.
Lindsay, I was like, I was like, are you a pirate? Like you got a raven on your shoulder? That is so wild, Lindsay. So that is definitely, this is really odd that we've got Abby, Marilyn, Lindsay, and Tony. And then this card came up also because it pertains to the group. Everybody, look up this animal totem raven, okay? Thank you, Lindsay, for clarifying that. So yeah, and actually I got a text from Austin. This is satin spar, okay, but it is a form of selenite, okay. So I wanted to tell you that too. All right. Who's next? Gio and Kat. Okay. Jared just sent me the most amazing recording of him singing. Jared, beautiful. Oh my gosh, you have to get together with Laurel, Lady Laurel. But I mean, Jared, that was an amazing performance. Unbelievable. I mean, it was very believable, but it was just amazing. So thank you for sending that to me. All right, Jared. You've been on the show long enough to know that the sun is one of the highest cards in the deck. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do what I did for Abby and Marilyn, and I'm going to combine the cards. So I'm going to talk to you and Kat about this card. You know, if it's a cloudy day, the clouds are going to break. Maybe not that day, but you know that the sun is going to come out full force. So there's nighttime, there are cloudy days, there are rainy days, but the sun is always there. The light is always there. Follow the light, not the dark, not the negativity. There are people that are addicted to negativity. For whatever reason, it gives them something. Okay, and we're not to judge that. Okay, so they're addicted to negativity, or they're addicted to a certain way of life, or they're addicted to a certain belief system. That is not either of yours belief system. Okay, this is your light. This is connection to your source. And someone that claims that they're connected with source and tells you to do something that you know or feel is incongruent with who you are, trust it. Trust your gut. Don't go there. Don't listen to them. Listen to your own source. Listen to your own light. That is provided for you to guide you. Think of it as a spotlight. So if there's several people on stage, there's spotlights coming down, and everybody has their own spotlight. This is your own spotlight, and this is you growing and expanding that spotlight for both of you. Lindsay, what lights you up? I want to ask everyone on the show tonight, what lights you up? What lights you up? What lights you up? Do that. What lights you up? Do that. Okay? I love doing this show. That lights me up. I love going to rock shows. That lights me up. Okay? That's what's important for me. And then for Jared and Kat, this is called the Andean Cross. Work on this together. It's the number 2 card. Listen to each other. Can you work on listening to each other better? Take your time. Don't. The Andean cross is about not jumping into things too quickly. If either of you are upset with each other, take a break. Get clear. Hug your selenite. Whatever it takes. Let a Calgon bath take you away. Come back to it with a peace of mind. Don't push it. Don't push the conversation between you if there's upsettedness. But clear it. Be aware of the upsettedness and go, where is this coming from? Or where is this frequency coming from? What did I pass through today? And clear the frequency. Raise your frequency, clear any negative frequency, then have the discussion. Don't force a discussion. Okay? This is about knowing when to act, but knowing when not to act. And the spirit guidance, God, however you want to term it, will give you that knowingness as to when to act and when not to act. Okay? Great. Who's next?
Awesome. Yeah. Next is going to be Elfie.
Hey, Lanny. Hope you're feeling really better. This is the card. It's called Many Paths. Are you willing to let go of all regrets, any regrets? And I'm not just talking to you, Lanny. I'm talking to everybody on the show. Are we willing to let go of any and all regrets of the path not taken? Are we willing to let go of any coulda, woulda, shoulda? You know, I should have been more kind. I should have said that. I could have done that. I could have said this. Stop. Stop. Trust the path that you've been on in this lifetime. Next lifetime, you'll get to have another path, or the path beyond. There are many paths, and the least of which is, are we willing to let go of judging our path? Judging where we are in life. Because if we're judging where we are in life now, and Alana, I'm not just talking to you, you know that. If we're judging where we are in life now, then tomorrow we're still going to be judging where we are in life. And next Wednesday, we're going to be judging where we are in life. And April 30th is going to come and go, and you're going to be judging where you are in life. Stop. Are you willing to just stop the judgment of where you are or where you are not in life? That clouds the path. So this is Harley coming through, Lana. It is, you are the best of the best. And he's chuckling. He's like, I deserve sometimes to have my ass kicked. This is it's one thing to complain, it's another thing to vent. Venting is not necessarily complaining. It's just blowing off steam. So I will tell this story to everyone on the show, and I wrote about it in my book. Lana's in my book. But my Aunt Nona, which is Lana's mother, she got hit by a train. And oh, this is such an epitome of my aunt. As she was being pushed down the track by this locomotive, she has her arm out the window screaming, "You sow! You sow!" And that's the attitude that we can have toward life. Is sometimes we can vent, and it's okay to vent without being judgmental on ourselves. Okay? That's the point of this card is this path, this time in life has had some sorrows, but it's had some amazing, amazing moments. Stop and smell the flowers, the poppies, and forget about the haunted forest. And I'm referring to the Wizard of Oz. Okay, who's next?
Yeah, that's Austin.
Hey, Austin. And I'm going to take a pause here. I want to thank you all for your loyalty, for your contributions. It helps me tremendously with the show and with Ken and I being able to do this. So thank you for that donation. Okay, Austin. Eagle. Eagle alone soars very high. It spots its prey, and then it immediately tells all the other eagles and all the other crows and ravens and birds and sparrows, hey, there's a mouse down there. No. Keep your plans to yourself. Unless it's absolutely necessary, if you're looking for an investor, if you're looking, and then you have to tell people the plans. Do not dilute the energy around telling people your plans unnecessarily. This is the eagle. You spot the prey and you go for the prey, and you don't tell the other birds. I don't know why I'm saying this, but this is important for you to, okay, your plans are valid. You do not need outside validation for your plans. Okay? That's important for you. It's also about making your nest a little more comfortable. So I don't know if it's about moving or getting a bigger place or something that is this is about expanding your influence, expanding your comfort level, and that it's okay for you to expand your comfort level. The eagle never apologizes for who the eagle is. Oh, I'm sorry I have such a big nest. I'm kind of embarrassed, when the sparrows come to visit. I think you get my drift. Okay, who's next?
It's Laurel.
Hey, Laurel. We've got a few deep cards tonight here, girlfriend, and everybody. So this is called the curse. Now, this is not just with our words, it's with our thoughts. People with Tourette syndrome sometimes, well, cannot control what they're saying. We don't blame them. It's a disorder. Okay? It's a disorder. The way I look at people when they get in that negative frequency, for me, it's a form of a disorder. And I love who they are, but I'm free of listening to their words, to their projections. Because they're trying to project their feelings, their viewpoint of how life is on you. Are you willing, in any way, shape, or form, are you willing to let go of that now? That is not you. Be free of taking any of that on, any of the negativity, and even any of the negative thoughts about any criticism. So I took voice for a while, and the worst thing that you can criticize about somebody is their voice, because there's nothing really you can do about your voice, and it is the most personal thing about you. It is the most personal thing about you. So, for instance, somebody doesn't think you're a good singer, but it may not be because they actually believe that you're a bad singer, but they may hate country music. But they don't express that. And so, and I'm using this as a metaphor or as an example, so you can take that personally, Laurel, about, oh, I have a terrible voice. No, they just hate country music, but they didn't express that. So this is avoiding and letting go of all previous curses. Also in relationships, when a relationship breaks up, whether that's a married or relationship, coupled relationship, or whether it's work relationship, people can get caught up in having to have allies or saying bad things about that person as to why they broke up. Like they have to have a reason, or they have to have an ally to strengthen their own inner weakness. If that makes sense. Again, that's a curse. That is on them, not you. And understanding that they just have an inner weakness. Okay? That it's not about you. They're needing allies. It's like in a war. Small countries need big countries as allies if the small country goes to war. Because they don't have the manpower. They don't have the charisma. Same with an individual. Okay? I hope that helps. Okay, who's next?
Next is John.
Okay, John. This deck that I'm using tonight is by Alberto Villoldo. V as in Victor, Illoldo. Alberto Villoldo. He's a medical anthropologist. He's a doctor. He had a clinic in Northern California, and he ended up moving down to South America and becoming a shaman, studying with the shamans there. So this is the serpent. Most people are afraid of serpents. Most people are afraid of snakes. But the serpent is part of your creative power. So no apologies, John, for your creative power. Be around people that stimulate your creative power. Years ago, you're a pilot, and so you took me to the airport for lunch, because the airport inspired you. It was the local Deer Valley Airport here in Arizona, but it was something. It was where you went to inspire you. This is about re-stimulating what inspires you. So plan a scuba diving trip. You're a certified professional scuba diver. It's getting back into what stimulates that creative energy. That's the serpent, okay? The serpent is that sexual energy, that creative energy. And this is like trusting the serpent to bring into manifestation what it is you truly want. And sometimes we don't even know what we want. Trust the source to bring in, show me what it is that I want. Bring it to me now. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. Next is Tony and Tim.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Tim. So I'm going to actually do this as I did for Abby and Marilyn and Geo and Kat. I'm going to read for both of you on this one, on this card, and then on the next card too. So in a relationship or in a business, are you willing to let go of any I'm doing more work than he is? Or if you have employees, is I have to do it all attitude. Let go of all of it, because the sacrifice if you're giving too much, your mind and body will be occupied with not then being aware of what you're receiving. If you're too preoccupied with sacrificing or believing you're the sacrificial lamb, trust that you're doing your part. Trust you have done your part, and that you don't. Are you willing to let go of the need to do more and more and more and more to make it happen? This is like, are you willing to just allow it to happen? What if you really actually didn't have to do very much at all, and things just began to really fall into place? When the studio shut down, where I was doing my show before, I'm like, we know nothing about social media or cameras or lighting, or we knew nothing. And then we started to research. The right camera came along, the right lights came along. You know, you've been tremendous in helping with the show, and Tim been tremendous in helping with the show in order for us to be able to help others. So it's that contribution where it's like paying it forward, where you've helped us and then we've been able to help others. And so Robin Williams used to tell this joke. Well, he used to tell this story of when he won the Academy Award, and he forgot to thank his mother. And she never let him forget it, but in a funny way, right? She goes, "I birthed you. You came out of here. It hurt, and you don't thank me." And so it was a great joke. You can look that up on YouTube. This interview that he did, it was on one of the Tonight shows, but I loved it because Every sacrifice is worth it. This is your mom coming through, saying it was no. I didn't view you as a sacrifice. I that was part of me giving to you. It was what I did. It was what I naturally did, and it brought me joy. So our sacrifices, are we willing to just allow them to be joyous, just like a mother? That's what's important. That's why your mother is coming through. This is time to rededicate yourself to your journey. That's what this is about. And pulling back and doing what's good for me. And that's for both you and Tim. Okay, so let's pull another one for you and Tim. And then Tim, this is about you, well, and Tony, rededicating your life to your journey and what that journey is and what the destination is going to feel like, and then enjoying every milestone of the journey, even though there may be a flat tire, the car may overheat. Enjoy every bit of the journey. Then this is called the smoky mirror. Oh, this is so good. This is about not really knowing how it's all going to work out. This is implied, yet it cannot be immediately known in the world. But know that when you first make gravy, it's very thin, it's very watery, and it thickens. But it takes time. Okay? And this is, are you willing to always to see the truth? Absolutely, to see the truth. And that you're safe, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe to see the truth. And we're talking about not conscious truth. This is talking about the subconscious truth, where we have maybe developed these belief systems that no longer serve us to our best and highest. And they've kept us like on a survival mode, or even sometimes affected us mentally or physically or emotionally. And thinking that when that comes up, because you know that that's a subconscious belief, that's a subconscious emotion attached to a previous subconscious belief. Okay? This is about going sometimes deeply into the wound and cleaning it out. And then it's all better. I'll call you on this one. Okay, who's next?
Very good. Todd.
Hey, Todd. So, Todd, when I was up there, we talked about your dad being in the back room. So you're going to get more visitations. So just be free of being afraid of them. They may show up in your pictures as orbs. A lot of times they do. A lot of times they actually show up in the background. So this is called the Sorcerer card. Again, I see a raven in this one as well, which are like messages from the other side. So when I started this work, I sometimes thought I was going crazy. Like, am I really seeing this? So years ago, I went into an antique shop with my niece, and we were in the very back of the antique shop. It kind of wandered around in dozens of rooms, and we were back in the far back. And I saw this woman in an 18th century costume, black, with a black broad-rimmed hat with a veil. And I'm like, oh God, what? And my niece screamed. She saw her too, and I went, okay, I'm good. This is about you being free of the need for any validation. I mean, you can call me and I will tell you you're not crazy. But this is about when they appear, go, what is it you want? And if you don't have a message for me, out of here. Okay, out of here. This is why selenite will be really good for you as well, to have more of that around. It helps to keep the vibration high, and it keeps away any lower vibration. But these are higher vibrations coming to you. These are higher vibration messages. And they're symbolized in this card through those orbs that you're seeing here in the card. Okay. Now I want to talk, I know I'm talking to Todd about this, but if you've been on this show and you've been on this show for any length of time, these are very real. These are very real things that happen. They're as real as your hands. They're real. So every one of you that I can think of over the past year that have been on the show that I've talked to has had these experiences. This is higher consciousness. You're welcoming in higher consciousness, and it's how Kenan started the show off. Can you repeat that again about the consciousness?
Sure. Yeah. There's coherence.
Coherence.
So you can use a stronger coherent frequency
Use a stronger coherent frequency
to repair incoherence.
to repair incoherence. So if you've got these beings or these entities, these orbs coming through that have a lower incoherence, use your higher coherence, your higher frequency, to either move them on and never return. But this is what we talked about on a show last week. What are you doing here? You've not made progress. Move on. Go toward progression. You don't belong here. Okay, thank you.
Nice. Yeah. So last is actually joining us on Facebook, Terry French Williams.
Hey, Terry. French Willie. It's French Willie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
She's joining us on Facebook. So Terry, this is called the medicine wheel, and it's for you tonight. It's about looking at the different platforms of healing and being open to what comes your way. When I was going through an incredibly emotional time, someone introduced me to doTERRA, network marketing, essential oils. And I'm like, no. And I rejected the vehicle without looking what was inside the vehicle. I didn't want to do network marketing. But I did eventually get involved with doTERRA because of the essential oils, because of the cargo and what they did for me mentally and emotionally and spiritually. I'm a big advocate of essential oils, and I'm not a big advocate of necessarily one company, but essential oils in general. Same with stones. There are healing properties to stones. When my mother passed, 6 months before my mother passed, the doctor said, oh, you only have 6 months to live. 5 months, 29 days later, she was gone. Because she put so much of that faith in that medical professional. Now, I'm not dissing medical professionals at all, but get a second opinion. Look for other alternative methods. Pay attention to the source, pay attention to the universe. If you're going through any mental or emotional and you don't have essential oils, go smell cinnamon, go smell thyme in your kitchen cabinet. Look at alternative methods of healing. Mental, emotional, energetic healing. Okay? Very important for you. Okay, who's next?
That's actually everybody.
That's everybody? Okay, let's do this again tomorrow night, everyone. I love you all. I'll get back to you. I know my phone's been dinging, so I apologize. I can't answer the messages during the show, but I will get back to you. If you've ordered any of the selenite, I'll definitely will get that to you. And great, great blessings. I love you all. We'll see you tomorrow night. If you've ordered any of the selenite, I'll definitely will get that to you. And great, great blessings. I love you all. We'll see you tomorrow night. Ordered any of the selenite.